Yolan True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another episode in our little A to Z officer series. And today it's time for another common officer, but before I get there, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel, and when you do, also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. And now let's have a look at Next Gen Crusher. As I said, she's a common officer, so she is one that will play a role for players that are just starting the game, and those officers will be up the next days as well, because as I said, I'm doing an A to Z series here, and I'm using the sorting that Scopely does when you sort the officers by name, and that's why all the Next Gen officers are now on my list, because we are at N at the moment. And Next Gen Crusher is class Science. She's from the group Next Gen. It's the next generation one, and that means that if she's captain, she can get synergy from others of that group, or can give synergy to a captain of that group if she's on the bridge. And she's from the faction Federation, which means you need Federation credits to upgrade her. And if you haven't seen Star Trek The Next Generation, there is a text about Crusher here in the info box as well. Although for a character like her, a bit short, I think. But as you could hear already, she does have a captain maneuver, and that's Hypo Spray. I mean, she's the doctor, so that fits. Next Gen Crusher increases the health of all officers on the ship by 10%. And that's something that's already quite helpful. All the Next Gen officers I will talk about, you will have quite early in the game. And at that point, with your first ships, I don't know if you're around with the Orion Corvette at the moment or so, before you get better officers, or with the Tala, then those Next Gen officers can be very, very helpful for your gameplay until you get the better ones. And at this stage of the game where you get started with your first ships and flying around, exploring, hunting some hostiles, every little bonus helps. And this includes the health of all officers of 10%. And her officer ability is this helpful as well for players at the beginning of their time in the game. That's the Dancing Doctor. During combat, Next Gen Crusher increases the effectiveness of the captain maneuver by 12%. So she either raises her own captain maneuver if she's captain, or if you pick another Next Gen officer, for example, you give synergy plus this raising of the effectiveness. So you can get a little bit more bonus already that early in the game with the right combinations. Unfortunately, and that's with all the common officers, they don't have a away team trait. So Next Gen Crusher, of course, also doesn't have one. And that means that from a certain point in the game, that's not that late, unfortunately, you usually don't have a use for her anymore. So I have to say I haven't used her in ages, because there's nothing you can do with her as soon as you got PMC, for example, or the full Enterprise crew, even earlier on the Jellyfish or whatever, with Kirk, Spock and McCoy. You have no need for the Next Gen officers as well, and you cannot send them to away teams anymore. In the very beginning you can do that, because the very early away teams don't need those traits. But later on, you urgently need those trait abilities for the bonus, and then they have really no use anymore, except if you have to fill a spot because you don't have many officers, which is unlikely. But yeah, it's a shame. They should have given them away team traits as well. But those Next Gen officers are also very easy in case of the source of getting them, because we have a very easy way to get them. That's why you will have them so early in the game, and that's the standard recruit section. That's also the only way of sourcing them. And here the Next Gen officers are, and Crusher as well, are here in the standard recruit. And first of all, the recruit tokens are easier to get. And even if you don't have those tokens and have seen my video how to get the shards here, even if you don't have the tokens, then you know why I say you can have those officers very, very early. And you can use them then very, very early on your first steps in the game, so to speak. And you start with the next gens anyway. So they are helpful at the start, very helpful at the start, but of no use later, and that's unfortunate. But as with many other officers as well, there are so many versions of these characters in the game, that's fine. But at least for my work on the charts I'm doing at the moment for the officer overview, where to source them, they are very easy as well. They just have one cross in one section on that chart because the standard, and that's it. There's no other source where you can get them. But especially from the people who just started, I would really like to know, are you using Next Generation Crusher at the moment? Is she helpful for you? What combinations do you use? That would be quite fun this time to get the comments from the new players in this game that just started and just got Next Gen Crusher, for example. But also if you have questions in general or video requests, you know that I regularly read the comments. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.